Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator. And today we are going to be checking out the Vertigo by GotGravel. This aircraft is available on the FlightSim.2's website, linked down in the description below. It is extremely high performance, extremely fast, and maneuverable air racer. And today we're going to see if it lives up to the challenge. All right, so jumping right into the review of this aircraft, we can check out here on FlightSim.2's website. Not sure what's going on there. What the heck? Anyway, weird. Um, Here is the main page. Again, the Vertigo Turboprop Racer by GotGravel. It's absolutely gorgeous, as you guys saw. He lists all the specifications of the aircraft here available. One of my favorite lines here is Vertigo is free and always will be. However, if you're loving the mod, please take some time to donate. I will absolutely be donating this aircraft if it lives up to everything that's stated here. Let's see here. They've got a Discord channel that offers a bunch of different features and enjoyment facilities for this aircraft. It comes with 3 weather presets. You guys be sure to check those out. I'll show you where to find those. You just go into the weather settings when you're in the sim. Installation instructions let you know to make sure that you delete any previous versions of the aircraft, as common with most mods, and then gives you a checklist. Now, things I like about the checklist being here is that it actually gives you speed targets. Now, one thing I did peruse through these a minute ago that I did notice kind of odd is that I don't see any indication of fuel pump or turbine. Oh, there's a turbine ignition. There we go. Anyway, so that's after engine start, which is kind of weird. I guess we'll check this out. I mean, we're going to find out. Recommended add-ons. It's another very awesome one to have. So they not only give you the aircraft, but give you some ideas on how to make it the best that they can. The working title G3000 mod, that's always a bonus to have. Don't care what you're flying. As well as the Reno Air Races mod. Now, we'll save this for a later video as I haven't tried this one out yet, but definitely will be doing so after seeing this. So without further delay, now that we've gotten us familiar with the checklist and everything like that, let's go ahead and take a look at the aircraft itself. Moving back to the external modeling of the aircraft, it looks absolutely beautiful. It looks like a Ferrari in the sky. It really does, or like a, some sporty car. I can't say my muscle cars, but the wheel texture looks absolutely fantastic. No issues there. Engine prop looks great. The nose cone, reflections on the aircraft aren't overbearing yet. Shiny enough. I mean, this is clearly an aircraft that's meant to get your attention. As you see here on the reflective surfaces, it definitely does a very good job of that. Coming up over the top, again, no issues there whatsoever. I think this is absolutely well done model. Looks beautiful sitting here. And how convenient, sitting right next to a Spitfire. Coming up to the top for a second here, and let me reset my camera here. Sort of got messed up there. There we go. Coming up to the top, got to turn it so we can see the aircraft. You can go to your weather settings as stated before, and you have 3 different weather settings that can be used: Vertigo Racing, Vertigo Rainy, and Vertigo Windy. Let's go ahead and try the Vertigo Racing. We'll set that up. Looks like it's pretty clear weathering, maybe high level clouds. That's about it. So let's go ahead and get into the cockpit and see what flying this bird is all about. The interior of this aircraft looks absolutely amazing. I love the vinyl work down here on the side. The leather seats look great. Got the white and black interior. Really make it blah. Yes, good. I'm glad you guys caught that too. Looks luxurious. Mercy. The floor matting is just, it looks great. Like, again, it's like you're driving a Mercedes in the sky. This is absolutely fantastic. Great job on the texturing. Let's go ahead and start walking through the checklist and get this aircraft started so we can get to the meat and potatoes of this. So we got master switch on. I'm just following their checklist here on the website. Avionics switch on. Strobe lights on. And we're going to be looking for the engine key over to the start position. Wait for 20% on the NG. Here's our NG percentage right here. and throttle into the idle position. Parking brake on, trim to neutral, fuel valve left or right. Let's set it to right. I'm thinking that was out of order. I mean, like, I really feel like that should be on, because now the next one is turbine ignition on. Odd. Very odd startup. I don't know how much of that is legit. But let's see here. NG percentage, wait till above 50%. Let's see here. Wait for 50%. Landing lights on as appropriate. We will be turning the landing lights on as it does not have a taxi light. And our next step will be moving to the takeoff position. Real quick, before we get into takeoff, this is all actually pretty neat. It looks like this is our trim handle. I've never seen a trim with a handle like this before. It's actually really neat. And I can see a lot of really cool applications for that, especially for a high-performance aircraft like this. I'm going to switch the fuel back over to both tanks here. We have our de-icing, de-icing switch here, ventilation, heating, fuel pumps if necessary, slip indicator, fuel warnings, engine warnings, oil pressure warnings, flap control, airspeed indicator, COM 1 with standby and transponder. I'm not sure what this little red guy here is for. Parking brakes right here. Aft is secure. Clearly, otherwise with a turboprop we would be rolling. And let's see what else we got. For the G3000, this part's actually looking pretty impressive, although I'm wondering... it's touchscreen, I'll bet you. Yep. Alright, cool. So you can set your display. What's photocell? Interesting. We go to manual. I'm not sure what photocell does. I'm guessing that it takes the brightness of the outside environment and adjusts it based on sort of like your headlights on your car. You know, they'll turn on when it gets dark enough. That would be my guess. I've never seen that photocell before. Let's see here. We got split screen. Oh, I'm wondering if, yep, full or split. Very cool. Transponder. Set it for VFR. Go to on. Although technically I think 7000 is VFR in the Caribbean, which is where we are. I know I'm back in the Caribbean. I love the Caribbean. I think it's gorgeous out here. It's just the best place, I think, just to go and fly and mess around. I do miss the synthetic. What is this? Ah, gotcha. I miss the synthetic terrain. I love that on my other one, on the other versions. We have nearest airports, direct. Very cool. All right, well, good stuff. Anything different over here? Nope, same thing, same configuration. Well, let's get this aircraft out of here. All right, so moving forward, we're going to start taking a look at taxi, takeoff, and go mess around, cause some trouble. So I'm going to release those parking brakes now. We should start rolling just about immediately. With a turboprop, they don't idle very well as far as low, but we'll add a little bit of power. I'm really nervous to add power when it comes to a turboprop, because it doesn't take much. They like to move. Brakes are super sensitive. Oh god, that was close. We're just going to turn around here. There's Frida standing right next to the taxi line. Frida's Fred's sister from the previous video. They have this thing with standing in front of moving aircraft and, you know, next to turboprops and jet intakes and, you know, I mean, living life on the edge, to each their own. Handling as far as the rudder steering is fantastic, but man, like I said, the brakes are super sensitive and you have to watch it, because, I mean, the prop's at idle. We're as far idle as we can go. And like I was telling you, once you get a turboprop rolling, man, you release those wheels, they like to roll. Alright, so let's go ahead and... I guess it doesn't really matter. We're back taxiing both directions. I haven't bothered to check the wind direction. I'm a sinner, I know it. But like, for example, I'm going to leave it at idle. Throttle's at idle, feet are off the brakes. Watch how fast she'll taxi. I mean, this thing is going to get rolling here. I'll be surprised if the airspeed indicator doesn't come alive. Well, looks like it's stabilized, just barely. But still, that's a fast taxi, man. Alright, let's start putting some of that brake pressure back on. And like I said, the rudders, because of the brake control, the rudder pedals are very, very sensitive. Very sensitive. Alright, so let's set flaps 15 for takeoff. And we're going to be looking for 50 knots of rotation. Gear up by 140 knots. See, and now we're stopped. Gear up at 140 knots, flaps up before 180. And that's going to happen very quickly. Throttle, we're going to be looking for 30% torque for takeoff. Come on, girl. It's these brakes, man. I really got to work on them. They're, like I said, so my one gripe already, the brakes, they're super, super sensitive. Just barely tap them and you're stopping. So it makes it real hard to control some of this. But let's see what we got. We're going to try to keep the trim neutral. And let's go. So we're going to go torque. We're looking for 30% on the torque. There's 31. And even with feet on the brakes, we're rolling. So coming off. Wow. This is going to be crazy. There's 50 knots rotating. Come on. And gear coming up. Alright, and let's try. Alright, so let's see here. There's flaps up. We're going to go full power. And let's bring that nose up. Unrestricted climb here. Let's go touch the stars. Wow. How's that? That's not bad. Alright, let's roll her over on her back. And come back over. Whoo! Okay, that's awesome. That's a lot of fun. Not going to argue that. Alright, so now, let's see what this aircraft can do, shall we? Alright, so we tested out what an unrestricted climb would look like in this aircraft. You've got a ceiling, I believe, of 30,000 feet, so no worries there. But let's see how much fun she is to honor the creator's name of GotGravel. Let's go kick up some mud. I'm having to use the rudder pedals quite a bit to coordinate my turns accordingly. Probably going to get a little bit of stuttering going on. I'm getting down pretty low and I have my graphics turned up quite a bit. So some of this is going to be expected if it performs the way we think. Let's try to put her on edge. Oh, baby. Left rudder, left rudder, left rudder. Yeah, okay, that's all we get. Ooh, baby. Right rudder, right rudder, right rudder, right rudder. Ooh, left rudder. Oh yeah, she moves. Oh, mercy. Okay, this thing is an absolute blast. This thing is fun. She's fast, she's powerful, it's mean. Whoa, 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 no, 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 no. Okay, so I should be dead. Keep that to yourselves, please. That was, we're going to call that definitely pilot error. Just like any aircraft, I don't think I would have passed the certification for this particular aircraft today, but, you know, we won't talk about the old stuff, right? This thing is fun. Very, very cool. The sounds remind me very much of the TBM. I'm wondering if that's sort of where some of the engine startup sounds came from. But I'm loving this. This thing is quick. Ooh, she'll take you out if you give her the chance to. So you're definitely flying on the edge. This is definitely an aircraft you want to get down low and dirty with, because I mean, I can tell you right now that's where the fun's at. The only reason why I'm not doing this in VR is because I've done a couple of VR recordings and they didn't get particularly great feedback from you guys, and I do this for you guys, so if I'm not willing to make videos you like, that doesn't really serve the purpose. But you guys definitely have to try this. This aircraft is cool. Let's see if I can get you guys a better view here. Alright, C to give me controls. There we go. Alright, let's see what we get. I don't normally fly with the external view, but this is actually kind of cool. Alright, so definitely, as you guys can see, gorgeous looking plane, maneuverable plane, fast plane. So I guess all that's really left to do for my review's sake here is to land the aircraft and see what she's like bringing home. But I could totally see myself just taking a nice little cruise for this. You have the G3000, which gives you the option to, you know, go and do a little bit of some day cruising. This would be a fun one to go to sort of cruise around town in. You know, if you're doing, you know, flying out to another town, have some quick breakfast, come back around, you know, this is a great aircraft for that because it's fast, it's nimble, it's light. Definitely a cool little aircraft. So let's see what happens when we land it. Alright, so at this point, landing, we should be looking at flaps 2 or 3 and approximately 70 knots right before touchdown. So we got Juliana right over there. That's where we're going to put her down at today. And I know I've been out in the Caribbean a lot lately, guys, but I can't stress enough. It's just, I mean, look around. It's so gorgeous to fly out here. Especially when you're coming from the desert like me. Not that the desert doesn't have its own beauty. It absolutely does, but this is awesome. All right, let's kick flaps 1 on, help slow us down a little bit. And gear can come down. Airspeed at 100 knots. I'm going to start picking it up a little bit. Start trimming that nose up for an easier approach. Nope. I mean, you just barely touch that throttle, man. She takes off. It's definitely a little tricky to manage it. All right, so we're turning final here. Let's grab flaps 2. Really got to feather that prop. You can see, I mean, I just barely touched it. And she comes screaming back up. Now we're looking for 70 knots for the approach, but 20 knots high here. Having to sort of go back and forth between accelerating and not. If you guys can sort of see, I'm doing something like this on the throttle. Because it wants to go, man. She doesn't want to stop. She's telling me no. She's like, Dad, no, absolutely not. It's gorgeous weather outside. The kids are playing with me. Everyone's staring at me. I look good. You know, I washed my skirts. Like, I mean, just look at me. My wheel skirts look beautiful, and you want me to land? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So you're going to have to be ready to really argue with her because she doesn't want to come down. She wants to fly. She wants to show off. And, you know, that's always great and everything like that. But, you know, she's making the other planes feel bad. You know, they're feeling guilty about who they are, and that's just not okay. You know, we should all be proud of who we are. on, baby. So I'm going to say more like 60 knots is what we're looking at for approach. I mean, I can pull the nose up and she still wants to glide. So there's 50 knots, 55 knots. Oh. Oof. Not too bad. So I'd say 60 knots approach is what I would expect. And it's just because of the rate at which she'll pick back up. I could have totally made that had I gotten the brakes sooner. But there we go. All right. Let's bring her in here. So this aircraft is definitely an absolute joy to fly. I'm sitting here thinking of other areas where this could be a whole lot of fun. As weird as it sounds, I think one of the things I'm going to try with this aircraft is the Mach loop. I think it'd be kind of cool to take it out there. But we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. I think he's just standing around, man. Get something done. I'm sure we're not supposed to park here, but I'm going to. And I'm going to park here badly, too. There we go. It's a little better. Okay, close enough. Alright, so let's reset that parking brake. And it says just turn the fuel valve to off. Set to off. Turn the ignition off. Oh, wow, that like stopped it instantly. Strobe light off, landing light off. Oh, nope, I just turned the stop on. My bad. Avionics off. Oh, there it is. There it is. Continue. Didn't even get to turn the battery switch off. There we go. And there you have it, guys. The GotGravel Vertigo. This aircraft was an absolute joy to fly. Again, I've got about 20 other ideas of how I'm going to try to fly this aircraft. I forgot to put the flaps up. Don't judge. This one's going to be a hoot. You guys are going to be seeing more of this aircraft. This thing is really, really cool. I think this is going to be a great time even in the VFR flights because it's so fast, but yet it's little, so you get that VFR experience without, getting to something like the TBM or something like that. If you're looking for something that's small, more general aviation style or capability, I should say, but yet very fast and maneuverable, something that you can do column A and column B in, this is definitely your aircraft. I will definitely be kicking some support over to the developer at GotGravel. Make sure you guys check it out. Link down in the description below. Let me know what you think and what your experiences are with this. Give me some ideas of some really cool place to fly this aircraft. We'll be checking out the Reno air races. And above all else, guys, have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.